She was a small town, best in show all around beauty queen. A straight 10 out of 10 off the cover of a Hollywood magazine. Yeah, and this broke down backwoods country boy just hit the lottery. When I asked her out for Friday night, she said yes. So I rang her bell, I was nervous as hell for our first date. And I anxiously opened the passenger side of my Chevrolet. Asked if she wouldn't mind to go for a drive up to Lover's Lane. She said, that's just fine, but you and I are riding just as friends. Yeah, so I leaned in for a kiss right away. She said, hold up, cowboy, better pump your brakes. You're gonna have to earn this, but I promise you, I'm worth the wait. And I said, okay, so we held hands under the stars, talked about our hometown, matters of the heart, who we want to be. Yeah, when we grew up, our favorite color, and our top 10 songs. Then we turned up the played Name That Tune, sipped on cheap whiskey, howled at the moon. It was perfect, it was beautiful, it was more than enough. Yeah, and the best was yet to come. Yeah, the years were tough, but we scraped up enough for a house on the hill. A little girl on the way, working minimum wage and a countertop of unpaid bills. We didn't have a whole lot, but what you and I got, most folks say they don't. Yeah, we had each other's backs, and when it comes to all that, you and I, we never go broke. We got a notice for shutting off the power today. There's still 5 more shifts till we get paid. We made a promise up on Lover's Lane that we'd stay together and we would be okay. So we held hands, looked up at the stars, got down on our knees, said a prayer in the dark, held our little girl, and we crossed our hearts. We promised each other that we hit our mark. Then I picked up my guitar, played Name That Tune, sipped on sweet tea, gazed at the moon. It was perfect, it was beautiful, it was more than enough, and the best was yet to come. We raised 3 amazing kids who were all grown up. I still drive their mama up to Lover's Lane, 'cause I just can't get enough. Yeah, we held hands under the stars, reminisced about our lives, where we are. We're so thankful that we followed our hearts and God was listening that night in the dark. 'Cause I knew on that first day 50 years ago that I found my soulmate and we'd grow old. It was perfect, it was beautiful, it was more than enough, and the best was still yet to come. That the best was still yet to come. That the best is still yet to
What a fiasco I had at my house this weekend, Kinsman.
What happened to you? Now,
okay.
I know a few things. Your son locked his keys in his car.
All right. Well, hold on.
You had an issue today backing around the car. What happened?
It's a dilemma of cars all weekend. So I didn't run my car for about 2 weeks. So the battery's dead. I had a flat tire. I was running around. I locked my son's keys in his car. So I had one neighbor out changing it over to the donut. You were trying to get into you're not a very good thief because you were using that coat hanger for about an hour. And
I almost got it. But yeah, I'm actually happy to say I can't break into a car successfully. Back when I was a kid, my first car was an 87 Honda Civic. And the coat hanger worked every time. I knew exactly where to go, but yeah, some of the cars are a little tougher for a coat hanger.
Yeah, well, that's a 97 Corolla. We should have been able to do that. But and then Janice came through and gave me one of her free coupons from Woods Family Locksmithing. So they came to open it up. What do you think about that?
That's pretty cool. And we were there when Woods Family Locksmithing was in your driveway.
Yeah.
And by the time we said, hey, do you have everything you need? They already were in the car, had the keys. Have a nice day. That's how awesome they are. So thumbs up. Some
jerk told Selena to shut up. What happened there, Selena?
What's that? At the Rock game today?
Hopefully that was not
you. She's on the rowdy side of the rink. Usually the opponents usually hang out there. So she's probably hanging out with some of the Hearst Lumberjack crew.
The Hearst Lumberjack crew. Is that where everyone gets wild there, buddy?
Yeah, Hearst. Usually when we play a Hearst, the Hearst will send down, or they'll drive down. A lot of fans come down from Hearst to watch the Timmins Rock and the Hearst Lumberjacks play.
So don't forget, thank you very much, Corey. Hashtag full beard to get into the draw. You're going to win a full beard. Oh, I think tonight we give away 6 Kins and Klomps. What do you think with that?
6 Kins and Klomp live at 705 Blonde Ale Beers. Mm-hmm. And we'll put you into the draw for March 10th. Hi, Benji Potvin. He was at the Rock game today. I saw him there. Hi, Benji.
He's always at the Rock game.
He's always at the Rock game. You know, there's so many people at the Rock games. If you haven't been, did the video, the pre-game video today from the Rock Shop, which that was my first time in the Rock Shop today. This is where you get all your Timmins Rock merch. Yep. And it's got a nice little store in there. So Teresa was in there manning the helm, and Nick, Jelena, everybody was in there taking it. That's where you can get your jerseys, game worn jerseys. They've got Santa flip flops in there. You name it, anything to do with the Timmins Rock, it's in there.
Game worn jerseys, $75, pretty good deal actually. That's right. So hashtag full beard. You're going to win 6 Kins and Klomps. You are going to be entered into the grand prize draw, which is March the 10th.
Yes.
And why is that a big deal? Well, you get to sit with us. You're thinking, okay, you get to go to full beard. That's awesome. And just as equally awesome, you have a $0 bill at the end of the night.
A $0 bill at the end. You get to drink as much as you want to drink and have as much fun as as you want. And at the end, when it's time for the bill, you just hand it to us, and we take care of it.
And then we escape out the back door and never talk to John and Benji again. Is that what you didn't? I'm not going to do that. You told me to do that.
No, I did not say we were going to do that.
All right. So, amazing weekend. We're going to chat later on after Jesse comes on about all the stuff that we did this weekend. Rest assured, all the cars are operational now, and I'm not in too much of a panic anymore.
Haven't locked your keys in the car. Again, when they say, it's funny, you're telling us your trail of bad luck. I should talk about Janice Vickers and her good luck. She won tickets to the Rock game back on Thursday's show, goes to the Rock game on Friday. She wins the 50-50. It was like $1,310. So she wins that. And then today I see online that she, you always say things happen in threes. So we said, Janice, you need to go out and buy a lotto ticket. So she went and bought a Lotto 649 ticket and won $500 on that thing.
And you messaged her for $100 loan right away.
That's right. Can I borrow $1,310, Janice? I'll pay you back.
All right, listen, buddy. Our guest is here. Now, don't be showing off. When you get these guys on the show, you start bragging and all that. I got to keep you in line. Hey, wait till you see what he looks like in the background. Like, it looks like he's on the slopes or something there.
It looks like he's still at the resort.
All right. Well, you ready?
The goggles on. Let's bring him on. Yeah, pro.
There he is. There he is. Look at this guy.
Hey, Jesse, how are you?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's
Kids, I have to tell you something. So I was looking at Jesse's Facebook page. The guy has a great set of hair, and this is driving me nuts because I'm watching the Olympics. All these big air guys have the best hair in the world. I can't grow an inch. Is this like is this part of the gimmick, Jesse, to have like the nice long flowing hair when you're a big air dude?
That's hard to say. I'm not too sure. Maybe I got blessed with semi all right hair. I don't know. I'm First Nations. They grow lots of hair. We got full head of hair. It's yeah, lots of the guys out there. I feel you on that. Actually, it's funny you say that because a lot of these dudes let it flow and they got nice locks.
I feel like all these guys are getting shampoo commercials now. When a young Jesse, and man, I picture you just hopping around the house, doing parkour, knocking over the lampshades. Were you always like agile and on the move as a kid?
No, actually, not really. If you guys want to hear an interesting story, just gonna crack this really quick.
Nice.
What
are you drinking up there? The slope style, the slope side. Oh, it's a Pilsner.
It's a newer one.
The choice,
the
yes.
New Zealand one. Yeah.
Good choice.
Really stoked on these guys being at the event. No, I was not always nimble and landing on my feet kind of kid at all. Not even close. I had no idea how to do backflips, and I thought it was funny. I used to play around the mezzanine because all these wrestling guys had mats at high school. So I would try to like do backflips on these kinds of things. And when I was really young, I had no idea how to do a backflip. And my dad would just whip me on the couch and make me do a backflip. And that was kind of how I understood the logistics of how to rotate myself backwards. And then one winter, I went out and I was setting up this. I used to snow skate, just this little skateboard kind of thing without bindings. And in the winter, and I set up this thing for myself, and I went to go try and do a backflip. I actually thought I paralyzed myself as a kid because I landed on my head so hard in this crusty snow from Timmins that wasn't, deep, light, fluffy snow. I literally thought I paralyzed myself. It was crazy, man. I hurt myself quite a bit. I was like, okay, I got to do this properly. And then it was go to the sports back, start hitting the diving boards.
Oh, you went right into the diving boards. You're always like, just looking at the sport itself, obviously a lot of people's interests obviously get piqued around the Olympics, but this is like, I'll call it a full-time job. But when the snow's there, you're always on the course, right? And even in the summer, like I could see them practicing in the water. You're always trying to perfect your craft, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I wanted to ask really quick, can you guys hear me okay? I had a little bit of difficulty with the laptop and Google Chrome wasn't.
No, we can hear you
You guys
fine.
can hear me fine? Okay,
We
perfect.
can hear you good, yeah.
Yeah, no, great. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And nobody wants to kind of go in something willy-nilly, especially when you hit a really big jump like that, jumps or whatever you're doing. You kind of want to be fairly dialed. And yeah, some water training camps are good, but you know what really did it for a lot of snowboarders was having Camp of Champs. Whistler is kind of the mecca, and there was a guy named Ken Achenbach, Camp of Champs, and also he brought in airbags. And now a lot of guys from Quebec are doing that. And that was kind of a really good training platform that snowboarders had. If you chose to go that route, there were guys who were kind of against it. They would just, if they wanted to do something, they go and try it. If not, you would go to an airbag, and then that way it was a little bit less, consequential if you land on your head, your side, those kind of things where it could be, you could, break your back, snap your neck, all these kind of crazy things, like whatever. So it gave people a little bit of a leg up, and then lots of other people chose gymnastics. I know a lot of snowboarders out there who made the Olympics. A lot of their training stemmed from a gymnastic background.
Yeah, you definitely have to be agile. At what point when you're taking the jump, do you know in your head whether it's going to work or not? I assume it's before you land, correct?
Absolutely. Definitely before you land, but there's always, you got to have really good peripheral vision awareness when you're doing anything in the air. You got to kind of see what you're doing, where you're at, especially if you're spinning or flipping. That literally is such a big factor for snowboarders, because you have to literally be able to see, oh, did I have enough speed? Did I go too fast? Am I going to make the spin that I actually am trying to do? Or how many flips I'm trying to do? I can't see really out of my right eye. I only have maybe 9 to 11% vision. So I was just born that way. So for me, spotting is what a lot of coaches train all their athletes to do. And
Mhm.
yeah, that is really, really important for everybody, because I mean, you can get wrecked literally by blinking your eyes. You know, everything happens in the air so fast. You look at it, and it looks like it's happening really fast. For the athlete, it's happening 10 times faster.
Like
They
the snow, having the snow being white, the sky. If it's an overcast day, how do you tell what's which side is up? That's got to be one of the trickier parts of
Yeah.
trying to land a jump.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. And the light, if the light's flat, it makes everything look the same. A lot of park crew or the guys or coaches, they will they use paint. They paint and they paint the landings. Then what they'll do, they'll usually it's increments of 5 feet. The knuckle being from the flat deck of the jump to where it starts to roll down in the transition. The knuckle is that part there. So they'll always paint that. That's where you want to clear. Then you're kind of like, you're good. Then they'll do 5 foot increments. Usually, if people are training and it's going to be a low light day, flat light day, or it's cloudy, that's what they'll do. And they'll make paint marks for that.
They say that obviously, to do what you do, you have to be a thrill seeker, obviously. But I've read somewhere that it's also good to have a little bit of sense of fear in you, because that makes it a little more safe. Is that true, or are you just completely fearless and you let it ride?
No, you definitely have a little part of yourself that uh, you ask yourself, okay, well, am I ready for this? Yes, no. When you're a little bit younger, that doesn't really cross your mind that much. We had that camp out at Mount Jamieson this weekend, and you see that a lot of kids, but they start to understand things as, kind of crashes happen, and it starts to kind of come to fruition that, I might need to have like a different thought process on this and whatever that might be. But for myself, I'm getting older. Like I don't do this anymore. I can't compete around the world circuit. I'm too old for that. I've had my time. It was like really fun. But you see what they're doing in the Olympics. That stuff takes a lot of courage. And yeah, for a lot of those guys, it is exciting because they train on it. It's repetition. It is literally beating hours on your craft, and that's exactly what you want to do, because that is the only way you get comfortable with it. Everybody has this nervousness and this, either the thrill of making a jump, even just when you're learning. That is something that grasps a lot of people's attention. But
Yeah.
in terms of what goes through your head, yeah, for the most part, there's still like a little bit of fear in the back of people's heads. But for the most part, once you start getting it, it's all about, landing your next trick, figuring out what you're going to do. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
And then seeing the big jumps, obviously, for your big weekend here at Mount Jamieson, that ramp that was built and designed, is that for everybody, or do you have to be a certain skill set? I'm gonna guess that you have to be a certain higher rider to jump that jump that's now there at the chalet run there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, lots of young kids are like really eager to do it, but honestly, they don't even meet the weight. They wouldn't even. We joked about this today. I mean, Eric built it, and he's out there and being a part of operations, and we were joking because it would be awesome to see younger generations start to hit stuff like that. But being certain ages, they don't even have the weight to carry themselves to get the speed to hit a jump like that. The perception of what that actually is a little bit hard to grasp, like when you're younger and coming up. But people can get there for sure. I mean, there's training camps all over the world, and you'll see a lot of smaller kids. They'll hit jumps like that for sure. Absolutely. Even the youngest in the Olympics, one of the youngest, 17-year-old. I mean, he's still probably hovering around 150 to 170 pounds, not even anywhere near, maybe even lighter than that, and getting out speed. So unfortunately, it's not for everyone. But if you're bred into a freestyle program, or if you just like acquired this talent naturally, you start getting there, you can definitely hit something like that for sure. But I don't think they're going to be leaving it up on the chalet run for too much longer.
They've done a lot of great work out there at Mount Jamieson. Like, to me, this is the best it's ever looked. And I know you don't reside in Timmins anymore, so you probably haven't seen it in a while, but they've done a lot of work out there. Like, it's a premier ski course in our area.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've always thought that being up here when it was called Kamoskosia, now Mount Jamieson, I mean, to be honest with you, I always thought we had a really good training ground for kind of any type of riding you wanted to do there.
Mhm.
Even the separate people for, I know skiing's separate identity, but for like racing, and then for snowboarding, just free riding, cruising around, and freestyle. Yeah, we definitely, that place is, it's literally a building block. Timmins has produced lots of different types of athletes, and you know, there's been a few snowboarders, some good skiers. I mean, even when I was younger, there's guys who easily could have been in professional skiing and chose not to, and that's fine. But we produce a lot of really heavy hitting athletes around here for sure, and I definitely stand by that because I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have the building blocks to be out there, be surrounded by a community, like-minded people, and grow up with a good group of friends who want to see you succeed and have fun and get there and push one another. That's what you need. That's literally what this weekend was about. I mean, we just need to keep that you know, that hype there and get people really fired up on doing anything that's outdoor, anything that's sports, you know, get people more outside. It was great to see this weekend. I literally couldn't have asked for a better weekend. And everyone there, man, they put so much work in. You're right. If you're noticing a change, it's because they're putting in the work, and they have a huge team there, and everyone's doing such a good job. I couldn't thank everyone enough. Literally, it was special for sure.
Well, we saw the jump. We were there the week prior with Bonum doing some tubing, and we were talking to it was Cameron Grant saying they're going to bring the crew in. You had schematics of the jump that they built, and amazing. Like we were there, nothing there, and then boom, there's this big jump. So again, there's a lot of members of the team that put it all into place to make your weekend a super success.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, for sure. I was sending all the guys in operations photos of the jumps I hit on a kind of a daily basis. If I'm not in the backcountry in Whistler, the kind of stuff I do day to day, I was sending them photos. Oh, this is what a jump would look like that I hit on a daily basis. It's 50, 60 feet from the deck. The jump is yay high, and you just match up the jump to the transition to where you're landing. And that I literally, that's all I was sending them. And they're like, okay, we got this. They would send me something. I'm like, okay, that's your landing. Okay, we'll push back this, do this. And they had everything pretty well set up and dialed. And when I got there, we literally tweaked it a little bit, and that was it. And they nailed it. It was perfect. I mean, I had no problem today hitting that jump. It was fine.
Now, Mark, I was there today live streaming the event, and I ran into Jesse's mom and sister. Now, her mom gave us some inside questions. His mom gave us, now we have to ask about the time that you met Pamela Anderson. What's the scoop?
Right? Oh, man. Oh, man. That's so funny. You meet a lot of people in Whistler. Okay, I mean, there's lots of people who want to go there for ski vacations, and lots of celebrities and stuff that go there. And Earl's is quite the happening place there, and it's good for après. And I remember being there in my riding gear, and I was near the bar. But if you're near the bar, you might kind of clog a little bit of the walkway to get around the restaurant and go to the washroom. The washroom is quite far in this particular restaurant. And I remember this blonde girl absolutely shoving me so hard out of the way, just belligerently shoves me out of the way and just like looks at me with this look, and I'm almost getting tossed in the bar. And I look over as Pamela Anderson, who just tossed me into the bar. Just like shoe kind of thing, like, oh my goodness. But yeah, I don't know if I'd call it Pamela Anderson getting belligerently shoved by some aggressive blonde-haired woman with this crazy hair. I was like, wow, okay. But yeah, barbed wire attached. I knew who it was. I was like, I'll just get out of the way, not say anything, whatever. Like, this is fine.
I mean, a shove's better than an autograph. I think at least you got a story to tell with it, right?
You got a story to tell for the rest of your life. Yeah, not too many of us can bump in and say that we bumped into the likes of Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, seriously.
But technically, you share the same type of the limelight. Obviously, yes, she's a TV star, movie star. You have a bit of a tie to the star-studded affair, because you starred as were you a stunt double in Into the Mind, the snowboarding movie?
Yeah, yeah, that was produced by Sherpa Cinema, and they had me helping a guy out who's an Olympic athlete. His name is Benji Farrow, and at the time they were producing Into the Mind, which I thought personally, I thought that was a cinematic masterpiece because they told a really good story. They had individual chapters throughout the movie, and I would say from that time on was a good time that I networked with a lot of people to really build um, almost like a circle or more connections, and just to get more work like that, because snowboarding alone doesn't pay the bills. You got to be the top tier of guys. You got to be in the Olympics. You got to be going that full pull to really make good money with that. And if you want to make like a really good living, well, sometimes it's, everyone's referring it to as their side hustles nowadays, and you got to have something like that. So when a friend introduced me to these guys and asked me if I would do this, I'm not a half pipe rider at all. It is extremely hard to ride half pipe. I have the utmost respect for people who take that on for the Olympics.
Yeah,
it's so hard. So when someone asked me that, without thinking about it, I said yes. Then when it came to film days, I'm looking down this half pipe and I have to be dressed exactly the same as this guy, and I'm thinking about everything. I'm like, I am way over my head. This guy's an Olympian. And like, I'm just this guy's stunt double. Are you guys serious?
Now, do they get you get to hang around with all the stars afterwards, or they just treat you like a stunt double? Because I was looking at where they have the cast Into the Mind, and then you see all these thumbnail pictures of everybody in the movie. I'm like, well, if you're the stunt double, they should have your face in there too, right? You're they're taking the limelight from all the hard work you did in this movie.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely get that angle that you're working off of.
Yeah.
It was more of just gratitude to help out and be a part of it.
Just to be a part of it, yeah.
Those guys built up a lot of strong connections for me, and then became a lot of good friends. Then some of the guys who were involved with that project became separate identities from Sherpa Cinema, did other stuff. Then I got involved with bigger films that included other guys that started doing their own thing. So it really did work out for me, but I wasn't main cast. So that kind of stuff and recognition is just to have my name in the credits and know the fact that, yeah, I was this guy's stunt double, and every time the camera turns a certain way and you don't see his face, it's actually like me.
That's you
looking at one another.
in the movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like it was a good feeling because I'd never seen a production like that before, and that was kind of like a little bit of my first taste. And then since then was great. I got a lot of commercial gigs, did some stuff in film, movies, and all that stuff really worked out. So I really appreciate that, because you should really never. I really understood that I shouldn't ever take any kind of experience, no matter like how big or how small, for granted, because then I didn't know it was going to blow up into something what I ended up doing in the long run. So yeah, like I said, I didn't really want to take that for granted.
So as a pro rider now, you're living in Whistler or close to Whistler, I assume. Are you teaching I know you did some stuff with the younger generation when you're in Timmins. Is that what you do in the West, or is it still working on, I know you call them side hustles. To me, they're pretty awesome. But is that what you're doing full time now?
Out west, I do live I actually live in the heart of Whistler. I live in a community called Alta Vista.
Okay.
I really, really like it there. It's easy for me to get around. It's really nice. And the community there is great. I actually don't coach anymore. I used to. I did a world camp. I used to live in New Zealand, which I thought this was amazing. Thinking about all this stuff with the Kiwis, some of the full beard, I thought this was hilarious. Having me laugh today. And yeah, I coached like a world freestyle camp in New Zealand. It was like a little bit under the radar. Nothing was like seriously official, but it was kind of through a company in the States as well. But when Camp of Champs was a thing, I got invited to coach there as well. And that's where I got to help a lot of youth. So that was different from being an instructor at a mountain. This was literally the world's best summer freestyle snowboard camp. the who's who and everyone who you looked up to in magazines and videos, everybody was there. All these pro riders come. Some got to be guest riders. Some would come to be coaches. And I mean, you got paid good. You hung out. And you used to snowboard, and then you got to meet a lot of kids from around the world. Because I mean, kids from all over the world would come there. So I did that, and then and in terms of full-time stuff now, professional snowboarding is like it is good when it's really good, but when things go a little bit downhill, it gets a little bit hard to pay your bills. But that's why I really look forward to doing anything in film, stunt work, helping out.
That's my
helping out.
Great Dane.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
love
Rookie the
dogs.
Great Dane, always barking during the show.
Huge dog guy.
Yeah.
Um, film, TV, stunt stuff, all that kind of stuff I look forward to. I can't really count on it, I guess you could say, because it comes really sporadically. And then other than that, I mean, I've been working. I do lots of stuff in civil services, so that kind of stuff with operating equipment, being on the ground, civil services, and stuff like that around Whistler has really helped me out. And it's great because it's seasonal work, and it helps me do my thing in the wintertime.
Yeah, and that answers Derek's question, because it was mine too. Like, what do you do during the summer months? And you're busy and you're hustling, perfecting the sport. Do you feel it's I don't know exactly how to put this, but like a lot of kids out there like are passionate about snowboarding and competing. You know, how much work on the back end does it take to be an elite athlete in this sport? And to me, obviously, you're going to say tremendous, but in terms of like commitment, how many months out of the year, how many hours per day, how much work does that take to excel in your sport?
Yeah, you're right, and I'm not going to say anything different. It does take a lot of time. My program out here was a lot different from when I moved out west, because I moved out west when I was really young. But to put things a little bit in perspective, certain schools in Whistler have programs where if there is upcoming athletes and they're doing really good, say skiing and snowboarding, and no matter what it is, just say they're freestyle, not freestyle, all mountain or racing, whatever they're doing, these schools will let them out early. Like say they'll only have to go to school for 4 hours in the morning, and then they'll go to the mountain, or say for a couple days out of the week, including the weekend, they won't even have to go to school. They have these days where they go and they do coach days, and it depends what type of program you're on. If you're in something like that, you are spending tremendous amount of hours just literally snowboarding and being coached. That's your best bet. For a lot of people in Ontario and things like that, where there's nothing really applicable like that in a school program, you're on the weekend. And I mean,
right.
I was a really anxious kid. I always wanted to be, I couldn't be there early enough. I had to be there before the lifts were going. Like, I would just stay in lodge and just hang out. I could like stretch, do whatever, make sure my boot side had everything, ate, had something to drink, whatever. And then I would be right out until that lift stopped turning. Like, you need to do those kinds of things, because you can't, if you're going to follow some kind of passion like that, your brain doesn't even want to think about anything else. I was really fixated on it once I started, and unfortunately I did give up like a full hockey career for this, but I couldn't think about anything else. So anytime I used to walk up hills all the time just around Timmins. I would just walk up hills just to snowboard down and build something myself, and I would just do that for hours, literally hours. And I had no cell phone. My parents come looking for me sometimes, and it's like, why aren't you home yet? What are you doing? I'd just be out there, and I would walk everywhere just with a snowboard, shovel, go do stuff like that. And yeah, sometimes when you have a passion you look so forward to, you won't really think about anything else. So when someone feels that way, and if parents are being really supportive, that's the kind of thing you want to support, because then your child isn't really going to think about anything else. That's when you can tell someone really wants to pursue something.
We heard, Mark, that Jesse used to scoop up the snow from the Zambonis.
Yeah, the Zambonis at all the local rinks. Is this true? Your mom has been feeding us some dirt for tonight here, Jesse. I actually
yeah,
worked with
she
your
has.
mom many moons ago, so I know your mom quite well. Again, she's probably the big piece of your rock of one of your biggest supporters out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she wasn't too pleased with me quitting hockey. I know this because she did everything she could to support me with that, and I loved hockey. I loved it. But when I loved snowboarding more, even though that was like a bit of a blow for me to up and quit something I worked on for, man, I was, as long as I was walking, I was skating and playing hockey, so that was definitely hard because I thought that was it. But once this started becoming the next thing, yeah, it's how it is. The Zamboni doors open, and then when it's the the fall months and you can't quite go snowboarding yet, we had another guy in Timmins. His name's Craig Beaulieu, and he became a pro snowboarder as well. And he moved out west. He's quite a few years older than me, but that was my main ambition, to go out west as well, because that guy was such a force to be reckoned with. He was winning all these competitions, but same thing, learn from him. He would tarp hit, the bed of his truck. Then he would go to where the Zambonis were. And then sometimes whenever I got to do this with him, yeah, we would shovel all the snow that the Zamboni just plopped on the concrete, whatever, put it in the truck, and then take it and then go set something up, which, you know what, in hindsight is such a bad idea. It's horrible. You can't snowboard the same. Consequences are higher. There's no soft landings. There's no other snow to protect you if you fall. Like, what a horrible idea. It was a bad idea. It wasn't a smart idea at all. But yeah, that was one of those, I really want to go snowboard. We haven't snowboarded at all yet this year. So why don't we go get this snow that's barely going to cover anything, go hit some big rail that's taller than me, and hope I don't knock my teeth out.
Right. Just pray for that. Yeah.
Great, crazy mentality. But again, as you say, the passion is there, and if there's, as they say, also, if there's a will, there's a way. You saw the snow, and it doesn't matter what the temperature is, you're going to find snow. If there's Zambonis out there working, the snow's always going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. And I mean, we have a long enough season here in Timmins, but yeah, like I said, it's funny, that's just.
Yeah, we have 10 months of snow, but if you can find some in July and August, why not?
Exactly. Yeah. Why not?
Do you
local
feel
snow dumps?
Do you feel like, once again, going back to the Olympics, we always have Canadians on the podium? This year, the Big Air just cracked me up, just where it was located behind what it looked like the Springfield nuclear plant in The Simpsons. But, and I know there was some talk about that, but we always seem to have Canadians close to or on the podium. I know we did fairly well this year. Is Canada one of the best countries when it comes to training and developing athletes in snowboarding?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely. We have Americans that want to come train on our program and our park in Whistler just because of how extensive and how good it is. There's just the runs. It's hard to put this in context, but for someone who's training for, say, just the Big Air, you're talking about the Big Air stuff, which is awesome, because now that's actually a solid structure in Beijing. I used to live in Beijing, so to see all that stuff and where that is, yeah, that's a permanent structure now. It's really cool. That style in particular. So if you think about hitting the same jump repetition wise, Whistler Blackcomb's got one of the best parks for that, because they have those exact style jumps, and they got basically a replica of them, about 3 or 4 in a row. So when you can go up a chairlift that's very fast and hit those over and over, or most of the guys, all the Canadian snowboard team guys, they get sled toes, so their coaches will be at the top. They'll have radios and whatnot. They'll take photos of all the athletes, and they all train there. And they got an amazing program. They got a few guys. Mike Stastic, he's out of Calgary. He travels all over the world. Chris Witwicky, he's basically one of the head coaches as well. Elliot Cadden. Those are the guys you would have seen at the Olympics, standing up there with all the guys that we had. Darcy Sharp, Max Pro, Mark McMorris, Seb Touton, like those guys, when they're training, their coaches are on different jumps. They're taking photos. They're learning new tricks. They're getting sled toes. They're hitting jumps so rapidly. I can't even imagine how many times they're actually hitting a jump in a day. The amount of kilometers you would log in a day from being a professional athlete, it's absurd. What I was telling you guys about constant hours, yeah, that program is extensive. And the reason why Canadians are some of the best riders is because they train extremely hard. And I mean, the Canadian snowboard team, that whole association, they put the time in, and they'll train. Like I'm telling you, if it's foggy and they can hardly see the jump, even in the next gen team, you'll see some of those guys, they'll go and hit it because you should be prepared for any day where it's not going to be nice and blue. You've probably seen, this is a little bit off topic, but the wind swirling up the half pipe for the skiers, it wasn't necessarily a big issue for the snowboarders, but you know, or if say it would have been flat, light, foggy, you have to train in that. You can't just be a fair weather snowboarder and say, oh, I'm going to go out when it's only good and I can see everything, so I'm going to stomp all my best tricks and I can see it. No, you should go do it when you can't see it, because that's going to give you really good perception on like knowing what you can do, because competition is a huge mind game. You don't want to go ever. You don't ever want to go first. You've seen lots of people in the Olympics who were disappointed in their scores because unfortunately, yeah, you had to go first, and if you threw one of your best tricks, unfortunately, you're first, so you don't get rewarded for it. It's like, okay, let's feel out the rest of like let's say 5 more riders. Let's see what they're gonna do, and then oh, you know what? Oh, we might have messed up. We set the bar really low for this guy. You know, kind of things like that. But yeah, Canadians, our Canadian summer team, that whole program, that whole training program, and especially for the guys who are a little bit more east and they get to train at Maximize in Quebec, oh yeah, you better believe like we have some of the best riders on the planet for sure.
And I assume obviously the video captured at the Olympics were like just superb. Every angle's caught. How important is video film? I know you mentioned pictures, but I assume you go back and review that, Craig, to make sure, you know, to review any adjustments or thing that you've done well.
Yeah, oh yeah. For every athlete that's a part of the snowboard team for Canada, we always called it Dad Cam, and all the coaches will film the men and women with a handy cam, and basically get to review footage with them. It's so much easier than actually having something that's a production camera, just because it doesn't make sense to have that. You want something that's quick and easy, because all you're going to do is literally clip. I mean, you can do it with your phone, but then it's your phone and it dies fast. Yeah. So all these guys you'll see a lot of coaches have actually like, I don't know, the brand plug, Sony HD, like handy cam, you know, style. All those old cameras you see, kind of the cylinder, and right out there filming their kit, the same thing, and it's just easy. It's easy to review, but that stuff is really important because an athlete wants to see, oh, like maybe I fell a little bit hard on my heels, or I caught my toes, or I didn't do this rotation properly. They want to see where they're looking, where they're not looking, what they need to do with their grab or spin differently or their takeoff. They want to see all of it just so that they can actually like perfect that. And yeah, the guys and the girls in the Canadian snowboard team, they have that privilege. Like those guys take really good care of their athletes. I mean, we have one of the best training programs in the world, absolutely, hands down.
Pretty amazing. Well, we can't keep Jesse all night there, Kenson. One, he's holding his phone. His hand's got to be sore as heck. His arm there.
Well, he just held the training camp. He's probably got a lot of friends to catch up on. You know, he's got you know, he's got to. Do you come back that often to Timmins, or you got to catch up? You know, probably a whole list of people that you need to see before you fly back.
Yeah, I just like catching up when I can. Yeah, it's been busy, but it's fun because I honestly I really just want to cherish this kind of stuff. Yeah, I didn't change out of my gear yet or anything. I mean, I came straight from the hill and I was running around and stuff. But I mean, I wouldn't. I literally wouldn't be able to pull this off without the community. The people at Mount Jamieson, everyone there was amazing. All the sponsors, guys like Full Beard, all my sponsors chipping in, you know, to give away prizes and things like that. And then having like a huge support team like my family, that means a lot to me, and being able to come back and visit them. I mean, everyone's everyone like really understands and supports, and it's like, oh yeah, you want to see like all these people, and like that's great. And my girlfriend and her whole family, I mean, I couldn't do it without without any of them, really, that's just,
Yeah.
it makes my day. So yeah, and thank
Awesome.
you guys for letting me come and
Yeah. Well,
speak
thank
and
you.
say a few words. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, thanks
And
for
I
coming
know
on.
it was an amazing event out there. I was out there, and it's really cool to see these things in Timmins, and I know it helps Mount Jamieson. So keep kicking some ass out there, and you're welcome back anytime, my friend.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for having me so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right,
And
Jesse.
yeah, you guys have a great night. Thanks, everyone. Honestly, couldn't do it without the support of the community.
All right. Cheers.
See you guys.
Cheers
Have
to
a good
you there,
night.
Jesse.
Take care.
All right. Take
But
care.
pretty awesome out there.
What an amazing athlete, eh?
These are the elite of the elite there, Kinsman. It's not like you and I jumping on a trampoline and falling over like in 2 seconds. Like
See
you said,
the jump. I don't think the video does like being there in person. The jump probably looked ginormous compared to what people saw in the video. Like I don't think pictures or video do it justice unless you're right there. But that was a massive jump. And again,
can you even do a somersault or what?
I can do a somersault. I can do the log roll. Remember that going down the hill with Benum there, or the tees for the Cat Bay dip.
What would happen if you're going down the hill and you're about to take one of Jesse's big airs? What's going through your head before you hit that top thing? Is it instant heart attack and fall over?
You're probably thinking, are my skis pointed? Are they level? What's happening here? I have issues getting off the chairlift. That's my issue. I haven't skied too often. We used to have back in high school. They used to have it was like ski like trips. And you would just put your hand up. Yes, I can ski, even though you didn't. You just want it off for the day, right? So they'd say, okay, bus is going to leave at 7 a.m. back at the end of the school day. Usually fell on a Friday, and we'd go skiing. And of course, I have no clue. I'm a half decent skier. So here I put the skis on, get off the chairlift, and I go down. And all my buddies can ski like Blue Diamond and really, really tough slopes, and here I can't, and here I'm falling on my ass the whole time.
Can't get off you should ask Jesse, if I don't know how to get off the chairlift, do I have a career in snowboarding?
That's it.
I don't know. Maybe there's a chairlift etiquette course he could teach you, just online though. He's got to go to Whistler.
That's it. I'm the type of skier where I'll be skiing, and okay, the skis are going like this, and all of a sudden they start crossing. Okay, they're not crossing, and then my legs. If you watch Bambi the cartoon, the legs split apart. Yeah. That's me skiing.
There you go, Kinsman. Okay, so before we go, I know we wanted to talk about a couple things. So yesterday we were at the Kapuskasing's Bay Dip. So we were one of, I think, 40 jumpers raising money for Anti-Hunger Coalition Timmins. Now, people asked, obviously, how bad was it? And here's my thoughts. Yes, it was cold. So I'm a bald guy. So it's like I got a brain freeze immediately. Yeah. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because we were standing outside in the cold. One, you and I had to get changed together in a tent. So that was kind of traumatizing. And then we went out there standing in the cold. And when we jumped in the cold, it wasn't that bad. But I will tell you this is where it got worse. You jumped in and then you hogged that ladder. You kept me in that water.
Well, if you see the video, the cape got stuck over my head. I couldn't get my hands to the ladder rung properly so my cape stayed on. You lost your cape. People actually point out in the video you come out without your cape. We don't know where your cape went.
I was running so fast to that hot tub, and then they're like, "Come back and get your cape." And I'm like, "Sonny, you should have heard the words I was saying under my breath because I wanted to get in that hot tub." But I would do it again, but it was cold, but not
I would
as
do it again.
bad.
Well, we've already promised the guy, the organizer there, the guy that was doing all the emceeing there. He said, "We'll see you next year." And again, we're going to be back there, bigger, better, and who knows what's going to happen? But experiences, as they say, I've never done this before. And again, someone said, "How cold is it?" Yes, it's freezing. People said, "Why were you wearing socks?" Like, are your feet? People were right because your feet would stick to the ice walking to the cutout.
Yeah.
But it was cold. And again, when I jumped in, my initial thought was I didn't feel the initial like, oh my gosh, this is freezing. When I got out, I felt my the hair is like someone said my hair was white in the video. I didn't see the replay, but my hair turned white when we hopped out.
We have, you're always worried about your hair. What's going on with this balloon base? Is this
the Timmins stratospheric balloon base. My little guy is going to be loving this because I took him up there when they did the launches a couple of years ago, but they haven't been able to do launches because of COVID, and they've actually launch their schedule for August of this summer, and the TSBB will be back at the airport launching these big ginormous balloons. This is where they do testing, different space gear. Obviously it gets a lot colder as you're flying on the International Space Station, and this is these balloons get you pretty much to space, and they can see if these instruments will freeze, how they act. I remember one of the launches, they launched a glider, and the glider, detached from this balloon and went all the way to, I think they landed it at the Iroquois Falls Airport on one of the launches. So again, they've got 4 launches set for August. So looking forward to that. And again, you and I, we've been asked if we want to go and check out a launch. So I think we're going to do that.
We are. We're going to do it all. All right, pal. So let's thank our sponsors. And while we're doing that, don't forget to comment
hashtag full beard.
Yes. And you'll get into the draw. So, Kinsman, it's time for you to earn your paycheck.
Time for me to earn the paycheck here. And thank our sponsors. Again, without our sponsors, we cannot do this without any of these amazing people. And again, DAP Cleaning Solutions, Andrew Wren, commercial cleaning, excellence guaranteed, and is your cleaning service, carpet cleaner, janitorial service. She stripping, waxing floors, windows, or any other cleaning, sanitizing job that you require. And again, she's now booking for your spring cleaning. So anybody who currently, works with Ann, has, a contract with Ann, book your spring cleaning, 705-465-3500. And the Business Enterprise Center, this is a great place for you to, get your foot in the door for a summer business. And again, the Summer Company Program is where you get to receive training, one-on-one mentorship and consultations, build a business plan, apply for microfinancing, and the new entrepreneurs get $1,500 to start, and you get $1,500 at the end of your course at the end of the summer. And of course, whatever you make with your business is all yours to keep. So it's all gravy. And again, free services at the Business Enterprise Center. And Positive Gems dog training, private in-home coaching, seasonal group obedience classes. Give Angele Gem a call. Positive Gems at outlook.com. And she's booking for you. And again, if you're thinking, well, you know what, I don't want to take my dog on a leash. Well, she does it online. It's online training. So you can have her hop onto a Zoom class with you, and you can train your pet right there in the comfort of your own home. 705-262-2662 is Angele's number. And how about this? A vegan grocery and lifestyle store, plant-based Marché is the place to go if you're looking for plant-based foods, gluten-free items. And again, all the plant-based meats and cheeses are made right here locally with the dream team. There's Sophie, Carly, and Roxy. 705-221-1775. And again, they're grab and goes. All their grab and goes, if you're looking to try their plant-based meals, all under $7, $6.99. In V&M Renovations, Justin and Matt, they are your go-to guys when it comes to planning your spring renos. You've had something maybe on the back burner. Winter's come, can't do the renos. You have a deck coming up. You have painting to do, an addition to a room. Well, guess what? Call V&M today, 705-372-3832. They're the newest renovators on the block for general contracting. And Lucian, come to the front of the bus. Lucian Transportation, February recruitment, 705-360-4090. And again, new drivers, if you phone up today, and this is a great part-time or full-time job. So you can do it part-time, you can do it full-time hours, a couple hours here or there. You can work it within your current schedule. New drivers will pick up a $2,000 sign-on bonus. And drivers currently will pick up a $1,000 driving sign-on bonus, or a recruitment bonus, when they recruit a new driver. So again, give Lucian Transportation a call. And how about these guys? Jonathan St. Pierre and Benji Potvin, Full Beard Brewing. We're going to be there on March the 17th for our St. Patty's Day party. They have free delivery. Did you know that you can phone for your beers to be delivered at the end of the workday? And again, 12 plus beers is the minimum order, and order before 4 p.m. daily. And again, Jonathan or it's going to be Benji will be delivering the brews to you. 705-268-0444. You can also email them, info@fullbeardbrewing.com, or check them out online, fullbeardbrewing.com, and say, hey, I want a 2-4 of the Kins and Klomp Live 705 Blonde Ales, and that'll happen. And unfortunately, our Timmins Rock in a bit of a funk right now. They've lost a few games this weekend, but close games. You know, this game was a hard-fought battle. Timmins Rock taking on the Hearst Lumberjacks, who just happened to be the first-place team in the league. And we fell just a little short there. Needed OT, but it was the Hearst Lumberjacks taking us by score 5-4 today. And how about this? Win this space with the Downtown Timmins BIA. This is also for entrepreneurs or anybody who's got a business that doesn't want to pay rent for a year, because that's what exactly entails there. Win this space. Again, someone could be you, but you need to submit and put a little video in and say, hey, I have a business. This is what I want to do, and I want to have my chance to win this space. And again, more details at downtowntimmins.com, and it could be you. Rent-free for 12 months in the Downtown Timmins BIA.
You did it all, pal. You did it all. Hard at work again.
Hard at work again.
All right, so let's give away the. Are you ready to give away the full
beer?
Yeah,
we're going to give away the Full Beard Brewing prize pack right now.
All right, so hashtag Full Beard.
Hashtag Full Beard. So anybody who typed that in will now be gathered into all the names. So let's find out who is going to be into the draw for March the 10th and who's going to pick up. We said we're giving away 6 Kins and Klomp Live Blonde Ale beers, 705s.
And for this contest, you can only win once. So keep that in mind, Kinsman. You keep track of all. And Benji can't win.
All the names.
And Benji can't win. I saw his name there.
No.
I know.
As if. Benji, you won.
I think Benji. Benji can afford his own bill at Full Beard. Okay,
right,
you want to skip him?
So he can't win, no.
No. I think he has enough Full Beard merch anyways. Janice already won.
Yeah, Janice is already qualified. So
all right, Kinsman.
Sorry, Janice. That would have been the 4th time's the charm.
Janice wins everything.
You've won too much this weekend, Janice. We're going to let other people win.
No.
All right. Where's it going here? Anne-Marie Fippen. Yes.
All right. There you go, Anne-Marie.
Marie Fippen. Yeah, so we're going to hook her up with the 6 cans of the Kins and Klomp Live 705 Blonde Ale beers, and she'll also be in for our St. Patty's Day draw March 10th to join us on March the 17th for St. Patty's Day.
Yeah. Yes, that is right. And once again, they're asking positive if they train husbands. So
I'm sure Angel has had that question. She just might. We're gonna you can bring your husband to the session, and she can train both online.
All right. So March the 10th is the big show with the Full Beard guys, and we're going to be giving away the big one, Kinsman.
Yeah, we're going to be giving away the big one where the winner will join us that night. You know, it's almost like the BIA and win this space free. Okay, it's going to be rent free for the night. Nothing's you can walk in there with nothing.
Yeah,
and we'll take care of all your bill, drinks, everything.
The only hitch is if Kinsman has too many 705 Kins and Klomp Live Blonde Ales, he's going to have to sleep on your couch. Right? Or maybe not. We'll have to check with that. All right, pal. So you did it. You said it all. I'm ready to give you the rest of the evening off.
Gonna get the rest of the evening off, and we'll be back at it for Tuesday show, and look for more winning.
You're not drinking a beer tonight?
No, I didn't grab a pint tonight. No.
Oh my God, what a letdown! I'm not a big fan of a sober Kinsman.
Do you remember how it happened? Where we were when we first
saw you right there on the corner. Don't think we ever could forget. See, the odds are never in our favor. All our chances are always razor thin. To find someone who looks so good on paper, who's even better when you finally let them in. 'Cause we could have been anywhere in the world back then. Anywhere, anywhere, anywhere else. But you were right where you were supposed to be. And I'm so glad it wasn't anyone else. And do you remember what I said when you told me you felt stuck? I said, all we need is some free time and a little bit of luck. Though the odds are never in our favor, and our chances are always razor thin. We could outrun everyone in our own caper. We could catch a flight and just see where